Hey everyone, welcome to Accounting 101. My name is Blakesley. I'm an onboarding specialist here at MarketMan, and today we're going to cover accounting. So we're going to be reviewing accounting integrations, invoices, exporting to accounting software, credit memos, and irregular prices. So when we come into our MarketMan account, we can find the accounting section right in the drop-down. And from here, we're going to be able to view, edit, and export invoices, look at credit memos, and update irregular prices. Today, we're going to go over all of this, but the first thing we need to do concerning accounting is just make sure that we have already synced with our accounting software. And if we do not sync with your specific accounting software, we make sure that everything's set up correctly so when we export, it all goes successfully. So we integrate with a ton of different accounting softwares. If you just come down into settings and then company, you'll see the accounting section. Under accounting software, you'll be able to see all those different ones that we integrate with. Some of the most popular being QuickBooks Desktop and Online, Xero, Sage, SAP, Bill.com, and many more. If you didn't hear yours mentioned or you don't see yours on the drop-down, you can always come up to this help and support section or feel free to contact us. We're always constantly integrating with new people, new software, so if you didn't hear yours, feel free to contact us. So the first step you're going to do is come down and just select what your accounting is and then click Save. Once we have that saved, we want to set up all our expense accounts. So you're going to come up here into suppliers and click suppliers. So expense accounts can be set up by supplier or by inventory item, but it's important that we have them all set up correctly so when we export all our expenses, they're going to the correct area. So first I'm going to show you how to do this by supplier. So you're just going to come in and click on the supplier and scroll down to the accounting section. So first we have our default expense account. So our default expense account is going to be the expense account that has been set up for a supplier in our accounting software. So this is coming straight from our accounting software. So say in QuickBooks, you have Palmer's as Palmer, whatever it may be. You're going to set that up. It's going to be pulled right in. You just want to make sure that the names match exactly. So this means spelling, capitalization, grammar, punctuation. We want to make sure that they match. The next section is going to be the credit account. So the credit account is just going to be the name of the supplier, exactly how we have set it up in our accounting software or how our bookkeeper is using it. So just an example of how this could get messed up. See this apostrophe in Palmer's? If our accountant or our accounting software isn't using an apostrophe, they're just using Palmer's, that's how we're going to want to have it down there. So like I said, just double check, make sure that we have all the spelling, punctuation, grammar, everything right. And when you're done, we're just going to click Save. So we know for a lot of these large suppliers, we're ordering multiple different categories from one supplier. So for example, Costco is a huge supplier that you may buy your paper goods from and your produce from. But these fall into different expense accounts. They're separated. So for this, we're going to want to come in and do it by inventory item. So you're just going to come into inventory and inventory items. And from here, we can set up our expense accounts directly through the inventory item. So for example, our coffee cup, we're going to come in here. And you want to make sure that you are in advanced mode. And then we see our expense account. So like I said before, just type in your expense account, make sure that everything matches correctly, and then you're going to click Save. Just keep in mind that your expense accounts are going to be automatically flown down through your supplier. So if you first set it up through your supplier, everything that comes from this supplier, every inventory item will automatically have that expense account. So like we just did with a coffee cup, if you want to come in and change it individually, you can do that. But you can also update by bulk. So we know from past experience that a lot of expense accounts are mimicked by categories that our clients set up. So for example, maybe a expense account we have is modifiers, or bad example, maybe it's supplies. So if we want all of these to be under a separate expense account, you can just come in and check them all, come up to actions, bulk update, expense account, type in our expense account, and then just click Save. So this is how you add in expense accounts and credit accounts. For our smaller suppliers, we suggest setting expense accounts by supplier in just to make it easier for you. And for our larger, we suggest setting up by supplier and then maybe going through by your categories or by individual items that you know are outliers and changing them that way. So now that we have this all set up, we can go through the accounting section. So when we come to accounting dropdown, the first thing we're going to look at is invoices. So in invoices, this is where we can view past orders that we've received. These can be either sorted by date, by type, or by supplier. You can also come down here, you're going to see the number of the invoice, the date, the type, supplier, the total of the invoice, and then we can see whether it's been allocated or not, and if it has been synced into our accounting software. So when we look at the allocated column, this just means if the price in MarketMan matched the price on the actual invoice. So if it says yes, that means that it does, and if it says no, then it means that it does not match. And then we'll go over the credit sections after this. Next, over the accounting sync section, you can see if it was already exported into your accounting or not. You can do this by bulk, by just clicking, checking off whichever ones you want, actions, and then you export. So if you had a software, it would say the name of the software and then export. Or for me, since you saw we set it up as generic, you'll just have a generic Excel that will then download. And we'll just show you a quick preview of what that download looks like. So once you click download, this is what it will come up as in the Excel. We have the type, the vendor name, obviously the location, the number on the invoice, the date, the amount, the item, etc. So all your bookkeeper or whatever you're exporting this to, they'll have all the information that they need. The next section we're going to go over is credit memos. This is going to show you credits that you owe suppliers or what suppliers owe us. This can be filtered by supplier or by date. When you come down here, you're going to see the date, the supplier, the document type, the document number, the credit type, and you can actually see the individual items that cause this issue. So from here, you can see that all these prices went up. And you can also see whether we sent out our credit memo or not. So here you can see we did send this one out. Oops, sorry. And over here, we haven't handled these yet. From this screen, we'll also be able to directly send out memos that have been completed or not completed. And you can do this by just checking them off, actions, send your credit reminder, or just mark it as already handled. The next section we're going to be going over is irregular prices. So in this section, we can see all of our price changes. You can see the product, the price difference, and then the variance percentage. So from here, we'll be able to update prices if we didn't already do it on the invoice. So when you do update a price, if you see in here, you'll have update price or reject price. Here, we already updated the price straight when we received the invoice. If we choose to update the price, then that is the price that MarketMan is going to keep in its system for our next order. So for example, here, originally our apples were $6.99, now they're $9. So we accepted this price. So from now on, when we order apples from Fancy Flowers, they're always going to be $9. Sometimes we don't always want to update the price and we want to reject the price. So maybe you had, for example, down here, the coffee sleeve. They were $10, but we had a huge coupon and now they're only 30 cents. So if there was a sale on something or you had a coupon, it was just that one-time purchase and you're not going to want to use that price again. So we'll just reject the price and stay with the one that we had before. For single locations, we suggest just doing it when you receive the invoice, but if you're a multi-location, we just suggest doing it in this actual report. So when using the accounting system in MarketMan, we're going to get a better understanding of your business at the end of every month. By connecting your accounting to MarketMan, you're going to make this process so simple for yourself, way easier, and it will save you a lot of time. So just to recap today, we went over all the types of accounting we offer, how to set up your expense and credit accounts in various ways, how to export. We went over invoices, credit memos, irregular prices. So just remember that you can always come up to this help and support section if you have any questions about a specific accounting software. But in a minute, I'm going to open this up to further questions, so just stick around. Thanks.